sweet. I've got the link to yeah, sweet. Have you done the goals setting? Goals thing? No. Okay, we'll go for that.
Oh yeah.
So one of the topics on here is goal setting. So I'll just go through. See what we've got here. I like that one idea.
Oh, do you have a speaker?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So basically, is what we call SMART goals. Have you heard of SMART before? So it's just like it's an acronym for a couple of different things. Cool. So the first one is your goal specific. So rather than being like I want to be a sales coach, it's probably not specific enough. It's probably like got to be something like that's measurable, attainable, timeline, all that kind of stuff. So rather than having an ambiguous thing like I want to get better at training people, have like something that you can be more specific about. Cool. So that's what specific is, measurable. So these are the things you're thinking about when you're setting some goals. So let's say Santos is like, I want a new car. He's going to get specific about it. Okay, so I'm like, what kind of car? You know, what's your range? What's the amount of money you want to spend on it? How many Ks you want to have on it? Stuff like that. Like as specific as possible, because then it kind of makes it a bit more real in your mind, and then you can map out the rest. Okay, and then the measurable part is like how are we going to measure? Like how would you measure that? Like how would you? Is it attainable? Is it measurable? Is it realistic to be able to do it? And then the time frame. So we could probably go backwards on that example. So time frame is like I want a new car by the end of the year. So he's got like 5.5, 6 months. Okay. And then how do we measure that? Like how much money? So we've got a specific type of car. How much money it's going to cost? It's going to cost $7,000. Okay, cool. So we've got like 5.5 months to save $7,000. Okay, so you've got to save like $1,200 a month, something like that. A bit more, maybe $1,400 a month. Cool. Is it attainable? Like, do you think you can actually get a new car? Well, if you have the money, if you're able to. Is it realistic? I think so. You say $1,400 a month is a big stretch though, like $350 a week. So, is it doable? Yeah, probably. And then the time bound. So then you might go, the reality of saving $350 a week means I would have to do, like what's your, like just to give, just if you're open to these guys, what would be your minimum you need to take home every week?
Probably 700-800.
Take home to cover all your bills and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So then it might not be realistic for him to go, I need to take home another $350 a week. It might just not be realistic, right? Because that might be quite a high sales goal then, because he might do the math on it and he's like, oh, okay, so that'd be like at least $1,100 after tax every week. It's probably like $1,400, $1,300 before tax. It's probably like 16, 18 sales every week. Could I do it every week? Not sure, you know? If you wanted to do 18 every week, which is what you're averaging close to 20, so you'd have to average what Matthew averages, which means in the city on like a lower week, you'd have to be doing like 12 to 13 to 14, and then on the road trips you have to push like 25 plus. You might decide you could do it, you might go, do you know what, it's probably not realistic. So you might change the goal. You might go, okay, well, that goal's not going to work. Does that make sense? So the whole point is not just like having the goal just to have a goal, it's like to be a bit more real about it. Sweet? That was just an example of a car. But let's say Connor's got a goal and he's like, I want to be at a certain level of the business. But like, cool, what's the exact level you want to be at? You know, how how many people would you want to have in your team? What would your team incentives want to look like? What would the time frame be on that? You know, and then just go through all those steps and figure it out. Cool. And then if you break it down, by this point where do I want to be? By this point where do I want to be? Makes sense. It's a bit of a goal setting exercise, and I do it for myself. But I reckon what you guys should try and the best way to set goals for me that I've found over the years is to not set goals for work, is to set goals for personal, and it might even just be money, and then figure out how the work stuff can help you get to the personal goal, because that's going to motivate you way more. Like when you're out and when you're fucking Pack and Save Henderson and everyone's saying no, or you're out there in the rain, and you're like, I'm trying to save for a trip that I'm going on, it's going to motivate you way more than I'm trying to get to sales coach by the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So find something, there's a couple of tips there, just find something that motivates you enough to overcome anything that you're going through with challenges. Cool. So I've always got little mini goals I'm trying to hit. So my mini goal this year was to book a holiday to Bali. So I've done that. Now I've got to have the next goal. The next goal is to try and buy a Harley. Cool. I need to save a lot of money for that. I need to save about 35 grand. So pretty big goal. But to be fair, I probably haven't done this enough on that. I'm like by next year at the end of the year, so a year and a half, I want to have bought a Harley, so I probably haven't actually broken down there. So, but is it specific? Yeah, because I know the exact fucking Harley I want to get. Road King Special, about 2021, 2022. All this, I know all the stuff I want on it, right? Is it attainable? Yeah. Is it realistic? Yeah. Got to work a bit harder. It's time bound. Measurable, I can break it down as well. So cool. So what's something that motivates you? You know, for me, if I'm feeling a bit average in the morning, it's kind of fucking dark, it's raining, I don't really feel like going to work sometimes. You know, we all go through that. So I'm getting out of bed for the Harley. You know, but it's pretty easy when you've got a family because you got to feed the kids as well. So
Yeah.
But find something that motivates you. Second one is find your passion and try and find a link to it. Try and find out how to link them together. Cool. So if your passion was Muay Thai and you want to open a Muay Thai gym, then maybe this is the stepping stone and the pathway to take you towards doing that. You know, it's maybe you get to team leader so you can make fucking 30 grand a year and save it and put it towards opening a gym in the future or you know something like that. So that's how you can help motivate yourself in the business, and then just use a mentor and set some goals with that person so you can get in touch with it. Cool. That's pretty much the goals there, guys. So. Has anyone got any goals that they're open to sharing to work towards?
Probably going to Europe and see my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's pretty good. How often do you guys, when was the last time you saw each other?
Last year.
In person?
Yeah,
last
last
year?
year,
Yeah, so a while ago. And it's Germany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done so if you mapped it out, what's the specific, when would you want to go, how much would it cost, what time of year?
So the specific is February. I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why Feb?
Oh, just because it's a sufficient amount of time for me to accumulate money.
So it means it's more realistic?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Do you know how much it costs to go?
My budget
$4,000,
is probably 6 grand just because we'll be going to Italy, France.
Do the trip and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So then you go through those things. So it's specific. Yeah, it sounds like you've already planned quite a lot.
Yeah.
As in you've thought about it. So
Yeah.
that's good. Is it time bound? Yes. Is it realistic, attainable, measurable? I can good to go. So the other thing that I'd probably recommend doing is figuring out from now until then exactly how much time there is and breaking up the dollar amount as to how much you want to save each week. Cool. The other thing is if you've got goals to be a sales coach or a team leader in this business, your income can really skyrocket once you start picking up those incentives. So you could work your butt off for 6 months and save as much as you could in 1 or 2 months, earning $600-700 a week from team incentives. You know what I mean? But the reality is, what happens when people start earning those team incentives? Instead of saving it,
They get complacent.
they just fucking spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go out, spend it, shut themselves, treat themselves, don't put it towards the goal, short-term happiness, but then they take themselves away from the long-term goal. So
Yeah. I've noticed that especially younger folks they earn a lot of money, but they're very financially illiterate.
younger folks.
Yeah.
You're not that old, mate. Calm down. No, I agree though. Like it's because the world these days is instant gratification, right? We get what we want when we want it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not very good at waiting for shit or planning